I'm John Millington. I farm at Hardywick Farm and Sandon Wood Farm near Stone in Staffordshire. We run 420 cows plus young stock, and all told we're just under 500 acres, all tenanted.
When did you start using the Trayshaw bolus?
We've used it for 2 seasons now at the point of drying off. We were concerned that with animals away in the winter, because our winter crop is grown a couple of miles from home, that we wanted to be sure we were getting minerals into all cows all the time, rather than giving them a bag of minerals that some may take and others may not, and we couldn't be sure that it would be a good way of getting a supply into all. They'll be wintering on fodder beet this year, fodder beet and big bale silage that's placed within the crop.
And feeding them on those crops in winter, there'd be problems with goitrogen in the crop.
There could be. That's been one of our concerns. We've been looking for a product that will give us some peace of mind that we won't end up with difficulties at calving. It's the difficulties around calving that then go on to affect fertility in the following season that we've been trying to protect ourselves against.
Did you notice any changes in the herd after you started bolusing them with Trayshaw?
When cows started to calve down in the spring, we had less whites, less retained cleansings, and certainly less cases of milk fever than we'd seen in the past. Cases of milk fever here have always been one of the major issues, and we saw a lot less milk fever in the 2 seasons when we've been using the bolus.
Did you have any problems with stillborn calves before you started bolusing?
We used the bolus immediately we started out wintering cattle, so we'd not been having that problem. But one of the reasons was to use the bolus was to prevent it. So there's nothing to say we might have had a problem if we hadn't used it, but we hopefully nipped the bud before it became an issue. We've been very pleased with the way that we've been improving our conception rates over a period of time. Empty rates are down to less than 10%, and I'm very happy with that for a 12-week service period. There's always room for improvement, but we haven't had a disaster, which is what we've been trying to avoid.
And I suppose it's that peace of mind with the cows out on a winter crop that they're getting all the minerals that they need.
It's about making sure that every animal gets its supply, and also it saves a job for the winter. You may have a busy day when you're bolusing, but at drying off, cows need to go through the crush anyway because we treat them for a liver fluke, and we weigh them as well so that we can keep an eye on what their body condition is when they go out and when they come back in, and do some monitoring. So it's just one extra job, and it saves an awful lot of hassle during the winter taking bags of mineral, and you can be sure they've all had some. They're bolused at the day we dry them off, which is 3 or 4 days before Christmas. So they are bolused before they go to winter crop.
Might you consider using the bolus at pre-serving as well?
It's something we might look at. We haven't done it yet. While conception rates are reasonably good, then I think we can, at the moment, perhaps manage without, but we will keep an eye on things, and if we're not happy with the way things are going and we think things can improve, then we might look at it then.
Have you seen less cases of retained cleansings?
Certainly have, yeah. There's been a lot less retained cleansings. Cows have been more eager to calve, I would say, as a result of better mineral status. And we've had less difficult calvings in terms of cows being lazy at calving, and we've had less retained cleansings and less whites as a result.